fundamentals and mindset with Brad. Let's get into it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, great morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this, wherever you're at in the beautiful world. Welcome and hello. This is a 60-minute HIIT training with a little steady state cardio trickled in there, but it's 60 minutes from start to finish. We're going to start ourselves with a 5-minute warm-up. If you need additional warm-up time, just hit pause. You can do that. You have the capabilities to hit pause on your side of the screen and do a continuous warm-up. Right now, we're just going to get the feet moving, the legs moving and grooving, and get our bodies acclimated, not just with our treadmill, but with our surroundings and our environment. Environment is extremely imperative and very important when it comes to fitness and self-development and growth. So become one with what you have going on wherever you're at. Maybe it's in your basement, maybe it's at a gym or a fitness center, maybe it's in your garage or a living room, wherever you're at. I hope you can tune in and gain something, not just physically from this workout, but mentally, emotionally, something that will feed your self-development and growth. Folks, this is 60 Minutes with Uncle Bradley. It's going to be a great 60 minutes, and we're going to talk about 7 habits of highly effective folks, highly effective people. I've been reading again, and I picked up the book 7 Habits by Highly Effective People. And we'll go over the 7 pillars this morning, or whenever you're watching this, we'll go over the 7 pillars of what highly effective people do on a daily basis. But folks, as we progress in the next 3.5 minutes, a few things that I want you to kind of keep in mind. One, when you're landing on the treadmill, sort of land on the middle of your feet, or aim to land on the middle of your feet. I always like to say slight heel to toe, and what that slight heel to toe will do is it will help you transfer your weight almost to the middle of your foot and land as softly as possible. Don't slam those feet on the tread or the pavement or the asphalt. Try to land softly on the tready boy, and that will help with that transfer of weight and help you land sort of on the middle of the foot. Secondly, I want you to have a neutral spine. I don't want you leaning over too far. Don't want you having that big arch in your back. I want you to have a sort of a neutral spine with a slight lean, but don't overlean. Don't overlean. Don't come over too far. Just a slight lean. So when you are going or progressing on the treadmill, it's almost going to feel as if you're going to fall forward slightly, but you're not going to, because that foot's going to catch you every single stride. Don't overstride, right? We never want to overstride. I want you to find your stride. Make your stride personal. Make this journey personal. Make this effort personal. And I think that's something that we forget sometimes. We do the comparison game, don't we? We compare and contrast our game or our journey or our results to somebody else. I want to extinguish that idea today and be proactive in the sense of making this journey personal to us, making our goals and our destinations and our finish lines personal to us. Nobody can be me. Nobody can be you. Even if you have a twin, there are slight differences. Even if you're identical twins, there are slight differences with every single person. Why? Because emotions, feelings, action or inaction, everybody's going to be a little different. So again, folks, make this effort, make this workout, make this life personal. That's why we're here today, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we are here this day. You found me for a reason. I found you for a reason. Let's make it great. I don't know when you're watching this. I don't know why you're watching this. I don't know where you're at in the world. But let's make this great. That's an obligation. That's a responsibility. That's something that we need to take ownership in our own journey. So guys, we got 60 minutes. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to continue this warm-up, but we're going to kick up the pace a little bit, and we're going to go for a 5-minute effort. Now, I try not to say terminology like jog or run or sprints. I try to exclude that terminology because there's going to be a vast variety of individuals with different talent levels, different physical abilities. So I try to say things like steady state or easy pace or extreme effort. And I will explain those terms as we go throughout this workout. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go on a 5-minute easy pace. That could be a slight jog, that could be a fast run, that could be a slow walk or maybe an intermediate walk. It could be a fast walk for some of you. Wherever you're comfortable for 5 minutes, I want you to find yourself at that 5-minute pace. And we're gonna hold that 5-minute pace. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. I want you to find this nice and easy pace. This is where you're gonna sort of find that form. You're not overstriding, you're really focused and dialed in on that slight heel to toe landing almost in the middle of your foot, slight lean with a neutral spine. You don't have a death grip. I always tell people, pretend that you have change in your hands and it's going jing-a-ling-a-ling. I got a little change in my hands and it's going jing-a-ling-a-ling. All right, so pretend or act as if you have some coins in your hand and they're kind of ching-a-ling-a-ling in your hands. Chest, chin, forward. Again, slight lean, but not too much. Folks, I talked about being proactive in the first parts of this workout. Proactiveness is one of the key elements to being an effective individual. A lot of us, we like procrastination instead of proactiveness, right? Procrastination is an absolute killer. And procrastination leads to a lot of stress. It leads to a lot of mental disorders. The reason is because if you procrastinate, typically your list of to-do things, or things to do, your to-do list, it's gonna get longer and longer and longer, and the pressure is gonna build and build and build. Instead of procrastinating, be proactive. Take some responsibility in whatever you value, whatever is truly important to you. Take some responsibility. Take ownership in that, and focus on the things that you can control. I want you to draw up an image in your mind. Back in elementary school or middle school, maybe even high school, you did the 2 circles to compare and contrast, right? So you know what I'm talking about. You got the circle here, you got the circle here, you got the overlap, that little sliver in the middle. That little sliver in the middle is the most important area to focus on. And I want you to put these 2 labels on these 2 circles. 1, things that are important. Your kids are important, your parents are important, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, physical health, your mental well-being, your emotional health, those sorts of things. Your nutrition, your finances, like whatever's important to you. Things that are important. Things that you can control. Label the other circle. Put a label over top. Things that you can control. Now, there are a lot of things that are in life that you have no control over. There are a lot of things that are important that you have no control over. Compare and contrast. But the things that fall in the middle, the things that fall in the overlap, that's where our focus needs to be. That's the things that we can control and that are important to us. So don't look left and don't look right down the center. Keep your mind focused, dialed in on what's in that overlap, what's in the center of that circle. You are the driver, not the passenger. So take some ownership. If you are the passenger, you have very little control of where that car goes on the journey, where that vessel goes on the journey. But you are in the driver's seat, aren't you? You are in the driver's seat of the things that are important to you. You are in the driver's seat of the things that you can control. Don't be a passenger. Take some ownership. That's the first principle or first pillar of the 7 pillars of highly effective people. Take control. Be proactive. And while you're being proactive, I want you to think long game. End game always in our minds. That's one of the hard things. Hey, 60 seconds left here, guys. 60 seconds left. We've had a wonderful start to this effort, but we're just getting warmed up. My legs are barely even moving right now, but I'm feeling good. Again, this isn't necessarily my workout. This is for you. Don't follow my pace. Follow your pace. Make your pace personal. All right, hashtag personal pace. On whatever day you're doing this, make this pace personal to you, your journey, your growth, your self-development, your destinations. But one of the hardest things to do is take action for today. Take action today, but not for today. Take action today for the long game, the long vision. Have that vision of where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, who you want to be. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Let's slow it down. Let's walk it out for 60 seconds. We're going to come into those extreme efforts. Now, typically, if you're a treadmill runner, an extreme effort is nothing more than a sprint. Now, the reason that I, again, use the terminology extreme effort is because we have folks in here that have never ran or haven't ran in 20 or 30 or 40 years, and I don't want to make anybody too afraid to take that next step in this workout. So we got 5 extreme efforts at 30 seconds apiece. What's going to happen is it's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds of rest. 30 seconds extreme effort, 30 seconds of rest. 30 seconds of extreme effort, 30 seconds of rest, so on and so forth. We got 5 of them. We got 5 sets of these, and I want you to test your limit, whatever that means to you. It could be an extremely fast sprint. It may be a fast walk. It may be a slower walk than that fast walk, but it's faster than your normal, consistent pace. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna start slow. I'm gonna test out the waters, and then we will go from here. Here we go. Don't lose that form. Don't overstride. Chest and chin forward. Ching-a-ling-a-ling in our hands. Neutral spine. Slight transition from the heel to the toe. Act as if you're landing right on the middle point of that foot. 3, 2, and 1. Hey, effort number 1 in the books. Nice job. Let's rest for 30. Let's rest for 30. We got 4 more of these. 4 more, come on, coach. If you have no idea who I am, I'm a personal trainer for E2M Fitness. Most of you know this, but I'm somebody that likes to keep things light. I'll tell a funny joke from time to time. Maybe it's not funny on your side of the screen. 3, 2, and 1. Let's kick it up. Go faster than what you just did. Go faster than what you just did. I operate on the principle or the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen. In every bucket of my life, Kaizen is at the forefront. What is Kaizen? It's the Japanese belief to get 1% better every day, every rep. 3, 2, and 1. Let's walk it out for 30, or slow it down for 30 rather. Get a little bit better, incremental, fractional growth. But you go back to that second pillar, it's having that clear vision of what's way off in the distance. It's extremely hard to have that vision when you're right in the face of adversity or when you've been knocked down by the universe. You have to keep in mind your why and your goal. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, 30 seconds. Get a little faster. A little bit faster now, a little bit faster now. Hey, come on now. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, come on. Come on. Ha. Ha. Now, when you're thinking about that long-term vision and that best version of yourself that's on the coattails of action. 3, 2, and 1. Let's walk it out. Slow it down. I'll get the hang of this. When you think about that long game, you have to ask yourself on a daily basis, do your behaviors today align with that goal, align with that vision? Do your actions, the decisions that you make, the choices that you make on a daily basis, do they align with where you want to go? That's something that you have to be really intentional with and take an audit on. 3, 2, and 1, 30 seconds. 2 more. Get a little faster this one than you did that last one. I want to see you push your mental and physical limits today. I want you to get outside. I want you to be outside the parameters of what your norm is. Come on. Take a step on the wild side. Let's get this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent, excellent work. Woo! You see, when you talk about self-development and growth, a a lot of people will run in the opposite direction because they fear self-development, they fear growth. We slip up a little bit, we're like, well, you know what? I'm good just going back to my old lifestyle. But the thing is the old lifestyle's already been written. We know the outcome of what was. 3, 2, and 1. Don't we want to pursue what could be? Like, isn't that the most exciting thing about life? Is pursuing something more? Well, if you want to pursue more, first and foremost, it's going to be scary. But if you fear it, chase it. And you have to have some congruency over your behaviors today and your vision of tomorrow. Your decisions and actions today and your vision tomorrow. 3, 2, and 1. We got a 30-second rest, folks. 30 seconds of rest. Then we're gonna get right back into that nice, easy, I call it ABC pace. The ABC pace is nothing more than having a conversation while we're moving. We're gonna take that 5-minute consistent or easy effort that we did in the beginning. Let's regress in time. Let's go 4 minutes. So take that effort time or that intensity that you had the first round. Let's bump up that speed. 3, 2, and 1. Doesn't have to be by much. Doesn't have to be by much. Nice, easy pace. But I do want to see you increase your pace, increase that speed at least a fraction. We're at 4 minutes right here. We're gonna hold this pace for 4 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. So do you have congruency of who you are today, decisions, actions, and where you want to be? Those are all right back to that first pillar of being proactive and taking ownership. Do you have congruency? Do you have alignment with the actions and decisions and choices of today? And that vision, long game vision. That's something that you have to ask yourselves more days than not. And then you need to prioritize the important tasks. Pillar 3, place the focus on the important task. All right, first things first. There are tens of thousands, if not more, decisions you have to make on a daily basis. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of things you have to do on a daily basis. What are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing social media scrolling? Are you prioritizing the news? Are you prioritizing taking a peek at the weather because you have a vacation coming up? Are you prioritizing spewing toxicity into the world, talking down upon somebody else? What do you prioritize on the daily? Are you prioritizing your health and wellness? Are you prioritizing your wealth? Are you prioritizing your relationships, your physical, emotional, mental health, and wellness? What are you prioritizing? Like when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you do? A lot of people will scroll social media. And by scrolling social media, you're jumping in the line of fire. It's like jumping into 100-mile-an-hour traffic and trying to keep up. That's not good for your mental wellness. That's not good for anything. That's why mental illness is so high right now, is because the first thing that we engage in, most of us, is typically social media or something technology-based. Even if you get on the TV, even without knowing, right? Even without knowing, you're comparing yourself to somebody. You're looking at somebody else's journey. I'm a big Chips fan, old school police show. But when you watch that, you have this idea that you can be that. Right? That's why we watch television. How many times in your life have you said, hey, imagine if I was that, or wouldn't it be nice if I was, without even knowing? You're comparing yourself to somebody else. And you go back to the first thing that I said 20 minutes ago. Guys, we got 30 seconds left right here. You go back to the first thing that I said. Stop comparing your journey to anybody else. Make this personal. Take ownership, responsibility. and yours. Come on, 20 seconds, let's get it. Let's get it. How are we feeling at home? Tip of the day, don't do cardio every day. 2 to 3 days a week, cardio, 2 to 3 days a week. 3, 2, and 1. Let's rest for 60 seconds. Now, we're gonna have some consistency in this workout. We go with that steady boy, and then we go with the extreme effort. Steady, extreme effort, steady, extreme effort, so on and so forth. And this is gonna carry us all the way to the finish line, this consistent rhythm. So we just did a 4-minute easy effort, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the rest, and we're gonna come back with those 5 extreme efforts. We're gonna regress in our duration. So it's only 25 seconds. And with this 25 seconds, my friends, you have to increase that speed. I guess you don't have to, it's not a requirement. It's just a slight nudge, a gentle push of encouragement. I encourage you. I suggest that you bump up that speed. We got 25 seconds on the dial. All right, let's get it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Get a little faster than that last effort that we did at that 35-second boy. Come on, 25 seconds of action. Come on, come on. You guys ever heard of law of attraction? Well, we're moving to principle or pillar number 4. Pillar number 4 is collaboration. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seek mutual benefits. And what I mean by this is surround yourself with folks that are on the same glide path as you. Collaborate with those people. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And togetherness, community, is so imperative in your true fulfillment. I know sometimes we get caught in these twilight zones of like, I'm dialed in on me. And I'm so much for the personal journey. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, 25 seconds. Come on, get a little faster than that last effort. 25 seconds, don't lose that form. Never lose the form. And once you start losing the form, it's time to slow down a little bit. I don't want you to be in a space of comfort. 3, 2, and 1. I do want you to reach a place of discomfort, but safely in that discomfort level. Does that make sense? I want you to be in discomfort. Like, that's where you grow. We know this. That's how you get stronger. But when you start to lose your form and you start to go in those spaces of unsafe environment or unsafe behavior and action, that's when you need to regress or retract and go back to safety, right? Here we go. It's like going on vacation. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Get a little faster now, boys and girls. Come on now, get a little faster here. 25 on the dial, 25 seconds on the dial, come on. It's like going on vacation. I'm from Western New York, about an hour and a half south of Buffalo. And when I go out west, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When I go out west, I see a moose or a grizzly bear. And this is just gonna paint an image of why I say, hey, test the limits, but safely. I wanna get really close to that grizzly bear to get a really good snapshot. I wanna get close to that elk or that moose or that wild game to get a really cool picture. But there's a line that you cross at some point. And once you cross that line, you go into the danger zone. And there's a difference between the self-development danger zone and the danger zone. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1, 25 seconds. Get a little faster if you can. And you have to understand that there's a limit, there's a line that's drawn in the sand. It can be reestablished, but you don't want to cross that line of actual safety. So make sure you keep your form, make sure you're exercising and emphasizing safety today. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! We got one more, ladies and gentlemen. One more at this 25-second level. So we've gone over 4 of the 7 principles, 4 of the 7 standards, pillars of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Let's go into the 5th. Understand first. Sometimes we do a little bit too much understanding instead of just trusting the process. If you see something that works, hold that thought. 3, 2, and 1. Come on, 25 seconds, come on. If you see something that works, do your investigation. Understand why it works. Understand some of the underlying values of why or how it works. Do a little bit of research. But if everything aligns with your values, from there, you just gotta trust the process. 3, 2, and 1. And I mean like trust the process. Some of us kind of trust the process. Some of us a little bit trust the process. You gotta go fully engulfed. You're fully obsessed with the process and trust and have faith in the process if you've done that underlying information, underlying research. Now, I said we're gonna have some rhythm here. We got 15 seconds left of this rest, and then we're going 3 minutes at that steady, easy ABC pace. I want to see you bump that speed up if you can from that first and second easy pace. 3, 2, and 1. See, a lot of us, we fail to learn. And when you stop learning, you start to fail. And that's a hard one for people to understand, because a lot of folks will reach a point, well, hey, you ain't gonna tell me anything. And that's having a fixed mind. You are so fixed and you can't be told, yeah, go this way or go that way. It may not align with your principles, your philosophies, your beliefs, but have a flexed mind, have an open mind in everything that you do. Look to learn. Look for new things to introduce into your life. That is like so very important in the grand scheme of self-development, growth, and prosperity. You want something great in life? Learn. Learn first, act. Learn first, act. Listen. It's like having a conversation. How many of us, we just listen to respond instead of actually listening and consuming that information, digesting that information, and then responding? So many of us are surface level, and we never get beyond surface level because we're not actually listening. We're not using these ears. The wheels are turning, but we're just listening so we can talk, not so we can conversate or communicate. 90 seconds left, come on. Excellent work, everybody. Doing a great job here. Doing a wonderful job. I love to see people grind. I love to see people work hard, because there's this like myth out there that greatness is just given. It's not earned. And when you see somebody cross the finish line, or you see somebody reach a goal, or finally come upon a destination, the pride that I have for a client or some random stranger that stumbled upon me, that's what I'm all about. Like, that's what I was put on this planet for. I'm a serviceman. I love to see people go through the hardships and the adversities, because through the hardships and through the adversities, that's where we shine our brightest. That's where we discover our best. 30 seconds, let's go. 30 seconds, let's go. Come on. You know, that pillar of 5, that 5th pillar will lead us right into the 6th pillar. Having that flexed mindset, right? Synergy. Find people that you align with, and have that open mind. 3, 2, and 1, and have that open mind. Let's rest it out for 60. Now, rhythm. We're in the same consistency as we've been the entire workout. You already know what's coming next. Anticipation is important, right? Expectation is important. But once you have an expectation and your day doesn't align with that expectation, learn to adapt and evolve. But I digress. You already know what's coming next. It's 5 extreme efforts We're gonna dial back that duration again. We're at 20 seconds apiece. So we have 5 at 20 seconds apiece. What can you do? How fast can you go safely at 20 seconds? I wanna see what you're made of mentally. I wanna see what you're made of physically. I wanna see what you can do. Double down, buckle up. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Come on, come on. Ah. Come on. Embrace that diversity in thinking. So many of us we are so straight and narrow. We have our blinders up, and we will not be told, nope, I've already heard it my way. 3, 2, and 1. I already have my beliefs set in stone. There should be nothing in your life set in stone. Nothing. Nothing. When I was younger, my sister always tried to get me to try sushi. And I told her, I will never try sushi. I will never try sushi. I will never try sushi. Okay, I'll try sushi. Sushi's one of my favorite foods today. Don't ever say never. Don't ever say never, because there's gonna be a day of enlightenment where you're like, wow, never heard it from that perspective. Never heard it from that angle. Never tried it, so I wouldn't know. Don't knock it till you try. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Never say never. Never say never. All right? Open your mind to new opportunities, new outlooks, new ways, new avenues, new directions. Never say never. Nothing should be etched in stone. 3, 2, and 1. You can etch it on a piece of paper with a pencil, but you better believe that pencil will have an eraser on it. Because sometimes we think we're etching something into our lives, and we go back like, did I really say that? Did I really do that? Did I really go there? One of the biggest things in our lives, or the biggest beliefs in our lives, is that most of us have regret. And I'm two-sided to this. Again, diverse way of thinking. I have 2 sides of this. 3, 2, and 1. My first side is you should never have regrets, because everything behind you is already set in stone, right? You should never have regrets. But the second side of that is you should look back and say, I have regrets. 3, 2, and 1. But those regrets are nothing more than learning opportunities. So it's sort of twofold for me, in the sense of I do have regrets in my life, because I've made some really bad decisions. But all those regrets, all those yellow lights that I ran, and the stop signs that I rolled through, and yeses I said to noes, and noes I said to yeses, those brought me here to you, and they brought you here to me. But on the second side of that coin, why do we have regrets? Why should we have regrets? They're behind us. 3, 2, and 1. It's like a boat leaving a wake, right? The wake is our regrets. The wake is our past. It's gonna create some waves and ripple effects behind us, but what's ahead of us? Clear, open water. 3, 2, and 1. Clear, open water. A brand new slate. A fresh start. So why are we looking over our shoulder when we have opportunity ahead of us? Ooh, yikes. Never thought of it that way. Never thought of it that way. I think it's just a neat way, a different perspective of how to view things and how to take on life. Because like I said, a lot of us, we just get caught up with like that conversation I had. Man, I wish I would have never had that, but you did. You had that conversation. I wish I would have never did that, but you did do that. 3, 2, and 1. 20 seconds. Let's see your best. Let's see your best for 20. Don't lose that form. Don't lose that form. Come on. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We got 40 seconds of rest. We're going into a 2-minute steady pace, steady effort. Folks, at 2 minutes, we should be able to hold a bit higher of a pace. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on you, but I do want to see you bump that speed up just a touch, just a little bit, to see what you can do. I have full faith that you're gonna follow suit. I have full faith on this side of the screen that you're gonna push the limits mentally and physically, and you're gonna get a PR right now. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. Hold this pace for 2 minutes, come on. 2 minutes. Sharpen the saw is the 7th pillar. The 7th habit of highly effective people. Sharpen the saw. I have this Ryobi table saw, right? And there's two reasons that this table saw doesn't cut very well. 1, the batteries are drained. 2, the saw blade is dull. But the reason that the battery is drained is because the saw blades are dull, and it's working twice as hard and it's draining the battery. Your heart, your soul, your mindset, your physical, mental abilities is the battery. There's a reason you're drained. It's because you're not sharpening up on the tools and the resources and the skills, mentally and physically, that are applicable to any journey that you go on. You're trying to become financially stable. Well, sharpen the tools that force you to become financially stable. Trying to work on your fitness. Well, that's why you're here. Trying to work on your mental game. That's why you're here. You have to sharpen up on the skills. Look for ways to continuously grow, learn on a daily basis, and fall in love with the things that have that long-term effectiveness. How many of us give into temptation? How many of us give into those temporary highs? This is gonna taste good. This is gonna feel good. Yeah, it will. But what's the long-term effectiveness? What's the long-term product? What's the long-term value in that temporary high or that temptation? There are areas in our life that pull our attraction, try to seduce us. 3, 2, and 1. Unconscious convenience, I call it. You're strolling down the road, you unconsciously pull into McDonald's because it's convenient. Are you gonna have fast food from time to time? Yeah, it's inevitable. What are your consistent behaviors saying about you? What are the things that you're doing all the time saying about you? Something you gotta think about. All right, let's get this. We got 15 seconds of extreme effort. We got 5 of them. We're well over that halfway point. Folks, we're nearing the end, right? At the beginning of this workout, we had that long-term vision. We had the long-term goal. We could visualize ourselves getting to this point of the workout. Now that we're actually there and we're entering closer and closer and closer, we're dialed in. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Now it's time to focus. Now it's time to focus. I want you to think of a microscope. You dial in on the microorganism. But once you dial in on that, what do you got to do? You got to focus, or you'll never see that thing come to fruition. 3, 2, and 1. Or you'll never see that thing come to life. The closer we get to a destination or a goal, the more we have to focus. Unfortunately, it's quite the opposite that the norm does. And the reason is because excitement grows the closer we get to that goal. If you want to lose 50 pounds and you're at 48 pounds, what happens is we sort of go on cruise control. We go on autopilot because we're that close. I've done all the hard work. I'm at 48 pounds. I'm only 2 pounds away. Well, instead of staying focused and dialed in, I'm going to have an extra handful of nuts. I've worked hard for it. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Come on. Get a little faster now. Get a little faster now. 15 seconds after. Come on. It's got to be a PR. 15 seconds. I want to see a speed PR, a pace PR. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Folks, by the time we reach like top speed, we're already regressing. We got 3 more at that 15-second boy. But it's a frustrating business to be in personal training, motivational speaking, spin coaching, run coaching. You know, being in this world, frustration is very common because there are so many people that have the utmost potential, but what happens is they lose focus, or they get real loose, and they get real, what's the word I'm looking for? Lackadaisical. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Once they get really close to their goals, and then they spiral. The tendency is to spiral. Come on, PR. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What you have to sort of keep in mind is, like running, life is a continuous journey. And once you reach a certain sort of prosperity or a certain level of success or see a certain level of happiness, you need to still progress in an upward trajectory. Like, I want you to think of a graph. You're gonna have up and downs, but as long as the graph is going in an upward trajectory, a positive trajectory, like, that's what you want. So the housing market, baby, it's gonna go up and down, but it's always gonna go up. Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Come on. Are you trending in a positive direction? Come on. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more. 2 more. Oh, wait a minute. 1 more. 1 more. Uno más. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves up to this point. And if you have, drop a comment down below. Like it. Share it with a buddy. This 60 minutes of endurance training and HIIT training, hits different. It hits different, feels different. And I always like this extended period of workout, especially once you can find that space of a two-way street. Like, I'm getting something out of you right now. 3, 2, and 1. Now, you think you're getting something out of me? I'm getting something out of you. It's got to be a two-way street in everything that we do. Like, by showing up today, you're an inspiration to me. Two-way street. 3, 2, and 1. Let's rest it out for 40. We have a 1-minute jog. Sorry. Getting loose over here, getting loosey-goosey. We have a 1-minute steady state effort. 1 minute steady state effort. And in that 1 minute, I want you to dial in and focus on your speed. It's 1 minute. So we got 1 minute of effort time, 1 minute of rest, and then we're gonna do a little bit of a progressive, extreme effort finisher. And we're gonna slay the legs. We are going to slay the legs. I'm excited. You ready? 1 minute jog, 1 minute steady state, 3, 2, and 1. 1 minute. But this has got to be our fastest steady state. Not our fastest extreme effort, but our fastest steady state of the day. Right now we're sharpening the saw. We sharpen the saw the most when we're fatigued. When we're starting to tucker out, growing tiresome. That's when you sharpen the most. Let's sharpen. Let's revive that battery. Let's revive our lives. It starts now. It starts in this moment. Watch this again. It starts now. It starts in this moment. Every day. Every single day. 10 seconds. Come on. Push. Pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's rest it out for 60. Folks, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna double up with all of our extreme efforts from now until our send-off and our 5-minute little cool down. We're gonna start with a 15-second extreme effort. We're doubling up with those. 2 15 seconds. So it's 15 on, 45 off, 15 on, 45 off. We're gonna go to our next set. 20 on, 40 off, 20 on, 40 off. You can see how we're progressing with our duration under tension or action, and we're regressing in that time of rest. So it's going 15, 15, 20, 20, 25, 25, 30, 30, 35, and 35. 35 will be our top duration, and our last extreme efforts of this beautiful, gorgeous day. Dial in. Focus now. 3, 2, and 1. Let's see a PR today. Slight lean forward. Heel to toe. Jing-a-ling-a-ling in our hands. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Nice work. I got a little change in my hands. It's going jing-a-ling-a-ling. You know, I mentioned this two-way street thing, and one of the pillars of the 7 habits of highly effective people was community. You know, collaboration in your environment. Energy is toxic, or excuse me, energy is contagious. Energy is contagious, and you take that toxic energy, it's contagious. But on the flip of that, you take the good energy, that's also contagious. Here we go. So 2 things off of that. 3, 2, and 1. I got a little change in my hands, it's going jing-a-ling-a-ling. 2 things with that. Here we go, come on. Come on. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 1. What kind of energy is around you? What kind of energy are you surrounded by? What kind of environment is your energy? What kind of energy do your friends spew out and put out? What kind of energy are you infused by? Is it good? Rock with those folks. Is it bad? Disconnect, at least temporarily, just to see yourself gaining momentum without that toxic energy. And then 2, what kind of energy are you putting out personally? All right, we're going up to that 20 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. 20-second effort. What kind of energy are you putting out into the world? Because the law of attraction states what you put out is what you get back. Like a lot of us, we can't get over the hump. We can't get through that obstacle. And it's no more of a reason than we're just putting a lot of toxicity out there. 3, 2, and 1. We're just putting a lot of dark vibes, negative vibes out into the universe. And the universe is gonna feed you what you give it. So those are the 2 things that I want you to leave with this after this workout, is the energy that you're surrounded by and the energy that you put out into the universe. What kind of energy are you surrounded by? What kind of energy are you putting out there? How many times have you heard a story of like, well, I had $7 in my pocket, I saw a homeless guy, I bought him a $7 cheeseburger, french fry, and soda, and then all of a sudden I was blessed. Here we go, 20 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. All of a sudden I was blessed. Law of attraction. I'm not telling you to go give away your last 20 bucks. That's not what I'm saying. Go out there and hold a door for somebody. Go out there and tell somebody, hey, you look great right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Don't get creepy on me. If you have a mom, hey ma, you're looking pretty today. You have a wife, hey ma, hey, you're looking pretty today. You have a dad, hey, you're looking very handsome, strong, whatever. It doesn't have to be, hey, I'm gonna give away my Lincoln Town car. You don't have to do something on the grand scale. Start small. Learn how to do it first. And then progressively get more and more and more contagious with that positive energy. Because I'm telling you, you help somebody out, what's gonna happen? Pay it forward. Here we go, 25 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. 25 seconds, let's get this. Come on. Pay it forward. And here's where the pay it forward kind of gets a little bit dicey, if you will. It's just like the bad apple reference. I want you to think about the bad apple saying, 1 bad apple will what? 3, 2, and 1. 1 bad apple will spoil the bunch is essentially what the saying is. But that's wrong, because one bad apple will only spoil one apple. And it's a ripple effect, or a pay it forward effect, where one apple will spoil one, will spoil one, until one apple is removed. I ain't getting involved with that toxic energy. I ain't getting involved with that rot. That's the good way of thinking of things. But when you think about paying it forward, people do the opposite of that. I buy his lunch, he buys her lunch, she buys, so on and so forth. 25 seconds, 3, 2, and 1, here we go. And then one person will have a selfish act of, well, I ain't gonna do that. And that's where the chain breaks. Don't be the broken link in this chain of effectiveness, of this chain of positive energy. Don't be that broken link. And you'll see this world prosper to levels it's never seen. 3, 2, and 1. But unfortunately, everywhere you look, you're gonna have that 1 or 2 or 3 selfish individuals that are like, well, nah, that was really nice of the person ahead of me for paying for my meal, but I'm good. Thank you. Deuces. It's a sad reality. Here we go, folks. 30 seconds. We got 2 at the 30-second level, 2 at the 35-second level. We got a 5-minute cool down, and we're out of here. 3, 2, and 1. Come on, 30 seconds. Hold it. What can you do for 30? What can you do for 30? That's what I'm asking you. What can you do for 30 seconds? Come on. Get this. Get all of it. Ha. Come on, dial in. Focus on the immediate task at hand. Don't let your mind wander. 3, 2, and 1. Distraction is everywhere. For the next 3.5 minutes, heck, for the next 8.5 minutes, dial out all of the distraction. Block out everything outside of the gym, living room, basement that you're in, and focus here. There's already been one thing that you resonated with, but for the next 8 minutes, I might say one more thing. 3, 2, and 1. That's gonna change your life. One thing, you never know. Come on, 30 seconds, come on. What kind of people you rocking with? What kind of people you hanging with? When I was 20 years old, I almost took my life and my best friend's life at the same time. We were rocking with folks that weren't taking ownership. 3, 2, and 1. Went from one party to another party to another party. Tried to make it home. 60 feet, 70 feet, 80 feet maybe from going head to head with a tractor trailer. My best friend woke up at the same time I did, hit me on the shoulder, eyes woke, boom, got back into my lane, went home. That day changed my life. Why? Because that day I was like, brother, listen, we can't be doing this. 3, 2, and 1, 35 seconds. I was like, we can't be doing this. I said to him, hey man, it felt good from one party to the next party to the next party. It felt great. But that was a wake-up call. Try not to wait for the wake-up call. Try not to wait from the phone call from the doctor's office. Say, hey, you only got days. Get urgent. Take action immediately for whatever you want and whatever you desire in your life. 3, 2, and 1. Last one. Last effort in front of us now. 35 seconds stands between where we're at and where we want to go. 35 seconds stands in between us. You ready for this? Let's earn it. 3, 2, and 1. Come on. Nobody ever said this would be easy. Nobody ever said this would be gifted. But somebody did say along the way that it had to be earned. It had to be worked for through sweat equity. Are you sweating? Because I certainly am on this side of the screen, and I feel powerful. I feel valiant. I feel courageous, confident. Why? because hard things produce confidence. 3, 2, and 1. You want confidence? Don't go out on the beach and sip Mai Tais. It'll make you feel good in the moment. But if you go back to that first pillar or second pillar, looking and visualizing the long game, that beach and Mai Tai will not be one of the denominators in that common factor of production off into the sunrise. Dial that in. Hey folks, that was a wonderful effort. Thank you for stopping by. I really truly enjoyed myself, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves in that 60 minutes. We still have a few minutes of warm up, or excuse me, cool down. And in this 5 minutes or so, I just want you to focus on your breathing, right? 2 in, 2 out. Let's go 3 in, 2 out. If you're not a nasal breather, that's okay, that's all right, it's all right. We all work in mysterious ways. If you can't nasal breathe, that's all right, you can mouth breathe. But I will highly suggest and recommend nasal strips. You can go to my website, bradinspires.com, or you can go on Amazon, get the same nasal strips or very close to, and they will change your life. Like, I'm straight up, they will change your life in the sense of not just physical fitness, but your sleep and your mental toughness. And the reason that I say mental toughness is because when you're real proactive on getting ample sleep, not just ample sleep, but effective sleep, effective rest, recovery, your mind, I ain't even lying, your mind will change, your mind will evolve alongside of that adaptive, or that intentional sleep. So, hey, that's my 2 cents on nasal breathing. But let's calm ourselves. Let's take it down. Help you, again, gain something from today. And there's a handful of things that I hope you extract from this workout and apply them to your lives. But start with one thing. The power of one is one of the most powerful mantras that we can live by. I don't know if I can get there. We'll start with one step. I don't know if I can get up there. We'll start with one level. Start with 1 minute. Start with a second. Start with a micro decision or a micro action. If you want to live at the macro level, if you want to win at the macro level, you got to win down here. You got to win the small battles, the firsts. You can't make $1 million without making $1. You can't lose 100 pounds without losing a pound. You're not going to finish a marathon without finishing the first mile. The power of one, my friends. So if you took one nugget from today, share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Again, this is a two-way street. We can never forget that this is not a highway and a bike path. It's a two-way street. It's a give and take. All right, I give you, you take. You give me, I take. All right, and it doesn't stop there. You can't be that negative chain of positivity and prosperity. Be the chain that continues on one more time. Folks, let's dial this treadmill right off. You can actually turn this treadmill right off. Let's put the left foot out forward. I want you to kind of hinge in your hips. Reach over. You'll feel a slight pull in your hamstring, your left hamstring. I want you to just sink into that hip. Push that butt back towards your heel. Boom, there it is. Let's put that right foot up forward. Same deal. Let's put that hips back, hinge at the hips. Push that glute back, chest and chin up. Feel a slight pull in that hamstring. That's right on the back upper part of your leg. Ties into your boot and into your lower back. Nice work. Hold on to a handle or something. If you're doing this on a wall, that's okay. Let's bring our heel right up to our boot. Point that knee directly at the ground. You don't want it pointing outwards. You want it pointing directly at the ground. Nice work. We're gonna hit our quadricep a little bit. That's our upper leg, or the front part of our upper leg. boom. Let's switch it up. Let's go left. You want to hold the stretch anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. That's where you're going to get maximal benefit and maximal production. So anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. Let's do a couple arm circles. Small forward. We'll finish this up right here. 15 seconds of arm circles. Let's go a little bit bigger. Bigger. There we go. We're working. I'm working here. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Again, I'm Uncle Bradley. I'm with E2M Fitness. And if you gained something from today, make sure you spread the good vibes. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.